We started our trip at Dallas Airport and flew to Johannesburg. It took about 17 hours. We flew on South African Airlines, and it was a pretty smooth flight. From Johannesburg, we took another plane to Victoria Falls, where we were greeted by Thompson, the guide from the agency. Every camp we visited, they would come out and greet us with a song. The group would stand out front, they'd be very happy, and they would just kind of sing a nice little welcome song and give us hot towels to dry off the sand from our faces.
Oh, this female is taking them somewhere else.
Because we drove up, maybe?
No. Even if they don't.
The first park we visited was Ichobi National Park. We got lucky on this, and at every park we visited, we saw animals. And on the first day, we came across this group of elephants.
You see what's happening there? See this male at the back here, these two are males. They're trying to follow the females, but they're being chased away by the females. They don't like the males.
We got lucky and we came across a couple of giraffes fighting. As you can see here, they're slamming themselves, and you can actually hear them beating against each other's bodies.
Oh.
The trucks that we drove on were incredibly bumpy. There'd be 3 sets of rows, and we'd rotate. Right now you can see Larry down in the bottom front. I'm way up and back. And every day you kind of pick a different spot in the truck. But overall they were good, because then you can see the animals from either side. It was just very bumpy, especially some of the terrain like you can see right here. It was amazing how close we actually got to the animals. These lions, pride of lions, we were probably less than 10 feet away from them. I asked the guide why they don't attack, and he said if you got out of this truck, they'd be on you before we could even pull you back inside. But because we never leave the truck, they just think we're one large animal, so they just kind of ignore us. There's a lot of university research done in Africa, and if you notice on this leopard, cheetah, you can see a collar around its neck. And it's from one of the universities tracking it. On the trip, we had to fly in two Cessnas. One was a 4-seater and the other one was a 10-seater. There was about 14 of us in the party. On this portion of the trip, 4 of us had to take the smaller one, which only held about 5, maybe 6 people. 4 passengers, a pilot, and that was it. And it was the smallest plane I've ever been on. Landing would be another matter. There's nothing else at the site except the runway where you will be. No terminal, nothing. Just a guy at the end of the runway with his rifle to make sure that no animals run out in front of the vehicle, the plane, while it's landing. The lodges that we stayed at were incredibly beautiful. This one is the second place, and we would sit out here every day and have our lunch and snacks, and we'd meet for discussions. The facilities were nice, warm, beautiful at night, and you could hear the animals just outside your tent. Alright, this elephant we kind of came across while we were driving along, and he was eating some food from his tree. Then he saw us, and he just kind of got a little annoyed and started to charge at us.
That's right. Even overflowed.
Every park seemed to have their own natural center of attraction. This particular had the Okavango Delta. So we had a lot of access to water activities. And we took a pontoon trip on a couple of days just to see what we could see.
So we are sitting right on the confluence where the two rivers meet up. So this morning basically we're going to explore the Lufupa, then in the afternoon we'll take on the Kafue.
Very good.
Yeah.
Maybe we can remember this.
These hippos actually kind of had us pinned down. We went out in the boats that you're going to see coming up, and they were submerged, but once they got us to a certain point, they surfaced, and then they came kind of charging at us, and the boat crew had to get us out of the water. The baboons are hilarious. You'll see them playing, and then in 2 seconds they'll be fighting. They'll chase around a little one. If they think he's got something good to eat, they will grab it from him and beat him until they give it up. This road runs through the Chobe Park, and it closes at the evening. It is as long as the park. So just so that you don't get caught in here, they shut this road down in the middle of the night because people have been known to come through here, flying along, and hit
This was
animals that
located
are
right
just
outside
on
the
there,
last
on
lodge
the
that
road.
we stayed. You can see the chairs and the fire pit kind of down here in a little pool. And these elephants walked up to this site constantly throughout the day. And you could just stop, you could almost touch them, they got so close.
This one, splashing, eh?
He's staring you down, Barbara. I think they're emptying that one over there. There was a lot of water when we got here.
Yeah, there was.
This is back-breaking work. I do not find this fun. I don't know why this would be fun, but it was something they wanted to show us how the locals live. We helped them pump for just a few minutes, and it already seemed uncomfortable and hard work. And these people do it all the time.
How many hours they have to do this?
Yeah, right. On the second to last day of the trip, Larry and I took the helicopter ride over Victoria Falls. The audio is really bad here, so I'm kind of muted it down so that you could hear this, you and me. The flight was excellent. It took off from somewhere not far from the falls, but carried us out over it. And it is a beautiful falls, but it's not nearly as beautiful as Niagara Falls.